now, just like a fox hunting its prey, the Dallas Mavericks sneakily dealt a trade that brought Kyrie Irving to Texas. Now, will this work? Will Dallas need to play with two balls on the floor? Well, joining us to talk about how this should all pan out is basketball analyst, NBA high post, and known passer of the ball, Mikey Reyes. Mikey, kamusta?
Of course, you will ask me about two ball-dominant point guards.
Kasi we have to get the right guy for this particular topic. And of course, that's a big question, isn't it? How do Dallas play with two ball-dominant guards? Isa lang yung bola sa court.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task. I think they both need to understand that they will need each other if they want to win ball games or even maybe have a good playoff push. Or maybe even a championship in the future, but they have to both understand that their roles may diminish a little bit from what they're used to. But at the same time,
cannot be!
Ang hirap nun eh.
Cannot be!
Nun.
Wait, okay, for those who are living under the rock, the official trade, Kyrie Irving and Keith Morris goes to Dallas, and so far, Brooklyn acquires Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, the 2027 second-round pick, 2029 first-round pick, the unprotected one, and 2029 second-round pick. Now, this still can be flipped. The Brooklyn side of things, pwede pa nila ibenta tong si Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith. All right, before we concentrate more on Dallas, I want to ask you what your opinion is on why it did not work with the Nets. Not the stint, but the extension. Why do you think Brooklyn and Joe Tsai, the owner, did not want to guarantee the extension? What is your theory, Mike?
Because Kyrie on the court is also not guaranteed. So
availability
on the court, different for various reasons that apparently the Brooklyn Nets had no control over during the pandemic, even after the pandemic. So with Kyrie, I think they never saw eye to eye.
Yeah.
And I think even nung bubble pa lang, it started there and it just started to get worse and worse. Because you have to consider, they waited the whole bubble for him to come back, even after the bubble. But he just didn't want to show up at some games. He missed most of his games with the Brooklyn Nets. So it's not something that you can blame the Nets for.
Yeah, and when you take a look at the Mavs going after a Kyrie Irving, I think it's, swing for the fences move, trying to get another star in. You can't say Luka doesn't have help anymore. But the question is, game on the line. Both guys have hit game winners in the past. I mean, who gets the ball at the end? Who do you trust more? Because that's going to be a question asked over and over again by the analysts, by the coaches, and I'm sure by the fans as well.
Well, the most cliche answer is kung sino mainit. Who has the hot hand, who's been playing well in that specific game or that specific stretch of games. But I'd still want Luka to have the basketball. This is still Luka's team in my eyes. I don't think you want to piss off someone like Luka. I'm sure Mark Cuban had a long conversation with Luka to assure him that this is still your team. He's still the young buck. He's like more of the Kobe in the Kobe-Shaq tandem. So I feel like it's still going to be in Luka's hands. But at the same time, you can't double Luka anymore, especially in those big shots or those moments, those last 2 minutes stretches. You have to also be wary that Kyrie is on the other side, also ready to touch that basketball.
Is this a gamble for Dallas? When you look at it long term, will this work after this year? Is this a rental? Is Kyrie a rental, in your opinion, if you're Mark Cuban, Mikey?
Obviously, it's a gamble. All trades are gambles.
True.
But I think this is a go big or go home trade. There's a big chance that if it does work out, then you have a big chance of, going deep into the playoffs or even making it to the finals.
Especially ngayon sa West na medyo,
kumbaga,
nothing is guaranteed at the West right now.
Kumbaga, more to win maybe. I mean, you lose. I know Spencer Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith are also solid guys, but I don't think they're going to win you a championship.
Yeah, you take a look at the combination of Doncic and Kyrie. People are going to be, okay, is this going to be the new dynamic duo? Is this going to be something that, okay, magsasalitan ba sila? Are they going to take turns, especially on the ball? What do you think his role is going to be like? Let's say he does stay here a bit longer, and of course, in the immediate.
He's going to be the Jalen Brunson. He's going to have that Jalen Brunson role. Obviously, a more talented, a more skillful one.
Yeah.
But he has to play off the basketball. And also, I believe also Kyrie would like that, hopefully. Save some years, maybe save some of his legs.
He is 31.
For the long term, for the playoffs. But when playoff time comes in, obviously Kyrie's going to produce.
Okay, I want to ask you, Mikey, How long before there's trouble in Dallas, do you think?
Next
Do
week.
you think?
When they start playing.
Over, under, dito.
When will they start playing?
But seryoso though, this is going to be must-watch, must-see, even from a press conference standpoint or an off-the-court standpoint. Do you think they can last throughout the playoffs without something happening?
Definitely, they're going to have to decide after this season.
Yeah.
I mean, the second half of the season and in the playoffs, they're going to make the playoffs. And in the playoffs, can they, share that basketball a little bit more, a little bit better? But you also have to give them time. I think that's the one thing that we owe it to them, or we have to allow them to
no such thing in the NBA.
Oo nga, nagmamadali yung mga tao.
No such thing. Patience is not a virtue in the NBA. Mikey, dyan ka lang ha? Because after the break,